Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Being Louisa. So today's video is sponsored by nurses.co.uk. Nurses.co.uk are an online website with all things nursing, from job posts to blog posts, and their midwifery section is expanding with us. Today's video is going to be my interview top tips. So, oh my gosh, it's crazy to say that I was interviewing like, what, 3 years ago? Just under 3 years ago. I was interviewing for midwifery in about February/March of 2017, which is so crazy to think. Like 2 and a bit years ago now. That's so crazy. And then I got in and I started September 2017. I can't believe that happened. But for those of you guys who are going through that stress, one, I feel you, I see you, I understand that stress, okay? Two, these are some of the tips that I think should help to get you through. So my top tips for interviewing. If you've ever had another job, kind of think of it like that. How you would prep to go in for a job interview, that's sort of how you want to go in for midwifery. And now I think I've even heard that they're expanding like how many places are offered on a course. I believe the new cohort for my university now, there's like 88 of them in first year, which is mental to me. I'm like, whoa. I think there's only about 50 something of us in first year. So there's like 88. Like, how crazy. That's like such a big jump. So maybe take a little deep breath and like inhale and exhale, because it's more of a chance of you getting into a midwifery degree since they're now expanding their, you know, their spaces. So what you want to do is remember, like, first impressions are everything. So when you get there, always be smiling, because trust me, I read that and I was like, isn't that obvious? But then I was like, wait, no, because I have a resting bee face. Like, if you ever see me and I'm like zoned out, I have this face that's just like, especially if I'm like traveling, I have that do not talk to me face, like. But yeah, so having to be reminded, like, smile. When you go in there, smile. Try and give off a like good positive aura, I guess, if that's what you believe in. Like, give off good vibes. That's always helpful. Also, the way you're dressed. So right now my hair is actually a mess. I'm not gonna lie to you, I need to wash my hair. It's so bad, but I have this rule, don't touch your hair if you're feeling stressed. So I haven't. But what I've done, even though my hair is actually a mess, what I've done is I have just slicked it back, as you can see, and I've just popped on a scarf, and I've done like a cute little back swirl thing. I like basically just like twisted it and looped it around a donut, so it's a nice little swirl. So that's nice and neat. Or you can do whatever go-to hairstyle that is nice and neat and makes you look presentable. And then I have on some makeup. I have a bit more than I would want for interview, to be honest with you, because I don't wear this every day. This is just videos and the rare occasion that I go out. So I probably wouldn't have on this lipstick. I'd probably just have on like lip balm, and I probably have a little less makeup on. So I've got some highlighter on, as you can see by that lovely reflection. I probably wouldn't have highlighter on. I'll probably just have like a base makeup on, which is basically what I have. So I have on the foundation and the concealer. That's pushing it for me. That's basically all I have on. I've done my eyebrows a little bit, and then I've got lipstick. That's it, and highlighter. But I wouldn't have the lipstick or highlighter. Some people would wear lipstick if that's what they do like every day. I don't. But yeah, so like have something that makes you look nice, fresh faced, and just like you know what you're doing. And then wear something presentable, because of course you're being judged on your looks. That's your first impression. So be smiling and be presentable. I wore my trusted skater skirt to the my interviews, and tights, because the skirt was a tiny bit too short. And then I had on my Zara home jacket because it looks so cute and professional. And I had on like some, I think I actually had on my Dr. Martens, which usually I would never suggest, but it was the only shoes I had at the time. And it kind of went because I was wearing like this, like, I think, oh, because of my jacket, that's why it went, because of my jacket. Like those colours kind of just like stood out, and I actually complimented on the combo, which was kind of awesome. But yeah, so that's my first tip, is be presentable, guys. Make sure you're looking good when you go to an interview. And then my next tip is make sure you've done your research. I get so many people ask me like, what should they research, or what should they look up, or can I do it for them and tell them? And it's like, you need to do this research yourself, and you need to look good. Like, make sure you know what you're talking about, know what they want as well. Like, let's be honest, if you've gotten an interview, you probably know what they want, and it's in your personal statement. So know your personal statement and just like know what they want on their website. So go on their website and see what they're looking for within the student. And yeah, ask loads of questions. Make sure you have questions. That's always a good tip for any interviews, have questions, but also have answers to questions. With midwifery, a lot of universities do multi-mini interviews, so MMIs, and they ask you a bunch of scenario questions. So make sure you are able to explain yourself and show like you're working out basically, but speak it. So they will ask you scenario questions on an array of things. Some might not even be relevant to the degree, but they want to see, are you biased, or what's your reasoning, why would you choose that person over that person, like what's the reasoning behind that. And so yeah, I remember mine, I was like, oh, I feel really bad, but like if I had to, but then again it's like this person and blah 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 blah. I was really like oh, I feel so bad. But yeah, so make sure you just say like why you would do that, or how you feel, why you would feel that way, or whatever it is. And that is always good, because they want to see like, do you have any unconscious biases that you don't know about? Does this person reason well? Like, are they good? Like, do they have a conscience? Like, is their conscience telling them actually no, you should do this instead? Like, they want to see all those things about you. Another tip is make sure you're reading the news or watching the news. Like, I'm really bad, I do not do it anymore, because the news is just too much for me here in the UK right now, because it's all about Brexit. But when they do talk about the NHS, make sure you're looking those things up and you're researching it, and you know your own opinion on it, not someone else's, your own opinion. What is your opinion about the latest thing about NHS or about the maternity services? Also, make sure you know about like the latest scandal that's happened, so whatever's big within the maternity services, because that is something that shows that you know you're keeping up to date with information, but also that you have an opinion on it. Don't be like, oh my gosh, it shows this, but like have an opinion on it. Say how it made you feel when you heard about it or when you read about it, and be like, but this is just a great area to improve in, and say how the maternity services could improve from this scandal basically, or from this big mistake, or whatever it is. So yeah, those are my kind of tips for you. I hope they help. So basically the short version to the long story is be presentable. Make sure you're looking good, in the sense that you look fresh faced, or you just look like you look presentable. Your hair's done good. If you can't be able to do your hair, wrap it up, girl, wrap it up. Have a nice simple face look, and be wearing presentable clothing. I wore like a blouse, a skirt, wear some nice shoes. I would not suggest wearing your Dr. Martens. Wear some nice shoes and a nice jacket. And then be prepared with all your materials that you want to say, why you want to be a midwife, what brought you into this career. Make sure you have like those basic questions ready, and then make sure you're good at reasoning and you're good at showing your reasoning out loud, because they will ask you questions that will test your reasoning. And then make sure you have listened to the news, or watched the news, or read something in the news about midwifery. And then make sure you also know what midwifery is really about, like not just holding babies. Make sure you know the ins and outs of midwifery, because that's what you're going into. So I hope these tips are helpful. I hope your interviews go well. I guess you guys are actually really more in the writing your personal statement stage. So this is probably like, oh my gosh, you've just scared me because that's so far away. So I'm sorry. But this will be here for when you guys are ready for interviews. So until then, keep on being you. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Comment down below with any questions or suggestions. And don't forget to subscribe to get weekly updates. Bye y'all.